Good afternoon, all. So, welcome to this session. So, in the last session, we are discussing the low frequency response of the MOSFET common source amplifier, and we have derived the FL. So, it depends on three cutoff frequencies or break frequencies: FE1, FE2, FE3. In that FE2, which involves transconductance GM, and the bypass capacitant, which is the dominant one, so which we have taken, and remaining two also can be calculated. Okay, so that is shown in this response. Okay, explained earlier. So this is the break frequency which is involving bypass capacitance, which will be the major one in calculation of the low frequency. Okay, and then this FE1 belongs to it is having a frequency dependent factor due to coupling capacitor CC1, and FE3 having coupling capacitor CC2. Okay, so now we'll look at how we choose these capacitors, okay, in the design, and we see the problems on that. So figure shows a sketch of the low frequency gain of a CS amplifier in which the three break frequencies are sufficiently separated so that their effects appear distinct. So their slope is different. That's why it looks different. Okay, not a linear graph. Observe that at each break frequency, the slope of the asymptotes to the gain function increases by 20 dB per decade. Okay, so it's actually starting from minus 60 dB per decade. Then there is a 20 dB increase. The 20 dB increase, how it will be calculated? Minus 60 plus 20. So it becomes minus 40. You see there in the graph. Then again, there is a 20 dB increase. So minus 40 plus 20, minus 20. Like that, you are getting the next graph. And finally, again at this frequency, again minus 20 plus 20. So it becomes 0. Okay, that's why you will have a mid-band gain, which is flat. Okay, so that's what asymptotes, and these things we will explain again in the root locus plot in control systems also. We'll discuss this, okay, about this, how we got this 20 dB per decade, everything. Okay, so you'll recognize that FE1, FE2 and FE3 as the frequencies of the three real low frequency poles. Okay, so in transfer function we have discussed poles, right? The same way these three points will also act as the frequency poles of the amplifier. Okay, so this is regarding the low frequency response curve. So now selecting values for the coupling and bypass capacitor. So previously you have designed in small signal operation and biasing circuits. How to design the circuit means only resistor values how to calculate you have understood, right? So now since capacitor is involved in this, and we have to calculate this, how to choose this according to our frequency need. Okay, so that's what the topic, a small topic, and based on that we'll see a problem. Okay, so we now address the design issue of selecting appropriate values for coupling capacitors and bypass capacitors. Okay, CEC1, CS and CC2. The design objective is to place the lower 3 dB frequency FL at a specified value while minimizing the capacitor values. Okay, so since as mentioned above, the CS bypass capacitant results in the highest of the three break frequencies, as we have discussed yesterday. The total capacitive is minimized by selecting CS so that its break frequency FE2 equal to FL. So when we are selecting CS, we will consider the lowest frequency FE2, and based on that we will calculate CS. Based on FE1, FE2, we will calculate the CC1, CC2. Okay, we'll go to next slide. So then after that we then decide on the location of the other two break frequencies. Okay, say 5 to 10 times lower than the frequency of the dominant. So as in the response curve also you have seen, right? So it is a FL is dominant one, which is FE2, then you have the FE3 and then FE1. They are lower values, right? So we can consider approximately 5 to 10 times lower than that. However, the values selected for FE1 and FE3 should not be too low. We should consider lower than FE2, but it is not too much low. Okay, for that would require larger values for CC1 and CC2. If you consider very low frequency, then capacitor value becomes large, and again a problem it is. Okay, so that's why you should have a balance, okay, in selecting these values. Okay, so even in the AC lab we have the first amplifier, either JFET or MOSFET amplifier is there. So there we will design this common source, divider circuit, or any one configuration we will consider. We'll design the capacitor values as well as the resistor values, and we take the approximate values which is available in lab, and we conduct the same thing. Okay, so this is whatever we have done in 3 sections. It is a theoretical one. The same thing we'll do as one experiment. Okay, try to do it in next week or this week maybe. We'll show you. Okay, so a demo of the first lab, so that will give you a clear idea of all this amplifier performance. Okay, so now let us see a problem on this, choosing the values of CC1, CC2. So this is, note down the question. Select appropriate values for the coupling capacitor CC1 and CC2 and the bypass capacitor CS. This you need to determine for the CS amplifier. The values given are: the amplifier has RG equal to 4.7 mega ohm, RD and RL both are equal to 15 kilo ohm, R signal equal to 100 kilo ohm, GM is equal to 1 milliamp per volt. So these are all standard values we have used earlier also. Now it is required to have FL equal to 100. So new thing is the frequency part will come here in the capacitor, and at this frequency you need to calculate the values of capacitor, and that the nearest break frequency be at least a decade lower. Decade means 10 times. Okay, so you can consider that and you can determine the value. Okay, so very simple. Just we need to use the 3 frequency formula. Very last I gave you yesterday. That formula we are using. Okay, so first one is there here, already answered. Fe2 is nothing but FL. FL is given 100 here. So formula is 1/25 CS by GM, right? So I have the FL value, I don't know the CS value. So I have to modify this equation first. So how it will come? So it is GM by CS will come. So CS here means it is GM by 25 FL, right? So I hope you got this. So here it is CS by GM, nothing but what? GM by 25 CS. Both formula you have seen, right? So in the place of CS, FL will come, and in the place of FL, CS will come. So CS will come here, FL will come in the denominator. Okay. So either you can write FL by GM or GM you can take in the numerator. So now substitute the values. GM is 1 milli and then 25 FM 100 hertz. Okay. So check the values in the calculator. You are getting 1.6 microfarad. You may getting some value 10 to the power minus 5 something. Press the ENG button in your calculator, so it will give you the nearest approximation, micro, milli, like that. Okay, so you set for micro, so it is 1.6 microfarad you will get. Okay, so hope it is clear how we got CS. So similar way, we have to choose the FE1 and FE2 values, and we have to calculate the CC1 and CC2. So 10 times lower they have told, right? 100 hertz divided by 10 means how much? 10 hertz, right? So that's why I will choose FE1 and FE3 value as 10 hertz. Okay. So FE1 is equal to 1/25 CC1 RG plus R signal. So this is the formula for FE1 we have seen yesterday, right? So here again we have to replace now. In the CC1 place I have to put FE1, the FE1 place I have put CC1 because I need to calculate this value. So this is the formula now modified. So substitute the values now. 25 FE1 is 10 hertz. Then RG is 4.7 mega and R signal is 100 kilo ohm, which is converted in mega means 0.1 mega, which will come. Both are added, and outside I have kept 10 to the power 6. Okay. So use the calculator again and you will get the value nearest to 3.3 nanofarad, 10 to the power minus 9. You may get it 10 to the power minus 10 or 10 to the power minus 8, like that. So you have to approximate it to nearest range so that you can write nanofarad. Okay, so verify that using the calculator while writing the notes. Okay, so notes I have sent already yesterday, but this part was not discussed, so that's why I'm continuing. So if you have not written, so you have to complete it after this session. Okay, similarly FE3, so here there is a mistake. Here it should come FE3. Okay, so while writing it is a mistake, and same thing here also. So this is FE3. Okay, FE3 equal to 1/25 CC2 RD plus RL. Again the places are changed. CC2 place FE3 will come. So CC2 equal to 1/25 F3 Fe3 Rd plus RL. This is the formula for that. Substitute the value now. 25 Fe3 value is 10 and both are values same. Rd plus RL, it is 15 kilo ohm, right? 15 plus 15 outside 10 to the power 3 I have kept. So now since it is kilo ohm resistor value is there, that's why the capacitor value comes in microfarad. Okay, see the difference. Okay, if you have a mega ohm resistor value, then capacitor value should be reduced. So that's why this combination we call it as time constant, RC. Okay, so this is the answer for CC 2.53 microfarad. Okay, so I hope it is clear. The three frequency formulas we have used, and we have find out the CC1, CC2 and CS. Okay, so now reverse way. So if CC1, CC2, all these values are given, you need to calculate the frequency AM, whatever we have done earlier. Okay, so such one problem also we'll see. So note down the question. A common source amplifier, CS amplifier, has CC1, CS. All the values are same here. CC1, CS, CSC2 equal to 1 microfarad. Okay, and RG equal to 10 mega ohm. Some new values are given, and R signal is 100 kilo ohm. GM is now 2 milliampere volt is given, and RD equal to RL is given 10 kilo compared to previous one. Okay, now what we need to find here is AM. First midband gain, then FE1, FE2, FE3 and FL. Okay, so FL and FE2 means same, but you have to show it. First FE2 you have to calculate, and then FL time you have to say it is FE2. Okay, first one AM. What is the formula? AM minus RG by RG plus R signal, GM into RD parallel to RL parallel to R0. RO is not considered in this analysis, right? Because R0 value is also not given in the problem, and R0 is not taken in analysis. That's why it is not taken here. Okay, actually in formula R0 is there. I have removed that R0. That's why RD parallel to RL. So now substitute the value. Everything is given. RG is 10 mega ohm. Okay, then R signal is 100 kilo ohm. Converted in mega, it is 0.1. 10 to the power 6 is not written because both numerator and denominator, this 10 to the power 6 will cancel out. That's why not shown. GM is 2 milli, 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. RD parallel to RL shown as RD into RL by RD plus RL. Okay, 10 into 10 by 10 plus 10. And it is in kilo. That's why 10 to the power 3 is there. Okay. So again, it substitute these all values in calculator. So here 10 to the power minus 3 plus 3 cancel out. So it is 100 by 25, find to 210, 10 into 10, 100, 100 by 10.1 will give you approximately 9.99 something. So that's what the value. Okay. So 9 minus 9.9 volt per volt. Hope it is clear. Okay. So now we'll take the frequency formulas to find out the FE1, FE2, FE3. So FE1 formula, so it is depends on CC1, 1 by 25 CC1 and the input resistances RG plus R signal. So substitute the value. CC1 is 1 microfarad, then RG is 10 mega ohm and R signal is 100 kilo ohm, nothing but 0.1 mega. Okay, so mega is kept outside. Minus 6 plus 6 cancel out here. So 10.1 into 25, 1 divided by that answer will give you 0.016 hertz. Okay, so it's a very low value because capacitor is in micro. Okay, so FE1 value got 0.016 hertz. Similarly, FE2, it depends on the CS, bypass capacitance, given by 1 by 25 CS by GM, right? So CS also they are given 1 microfarad. So substitute it 1 microfarad divided by 2 milli of GM value. Okay, so it is 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. So again use the calculator. Okay, so 1 divided by 25 into 0.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, so you'll get 318.3 hertz. In my calculation I will get this value. So you please verify the answers. Okay, and you will get this. Okay, finally FE3 and FL. Okay, so FE3 formula, it depends on coupling capacitor 2 and the output resistances, they are RD and RL. RD plus RL is written. Substitute the value again. It is 1 microfarad is given, 1 into 10 to the power minus 6. both are 10 kilo ohms, so that's why 10 plus 10 into 10 to the power 3 written. So use the calculator again, take the ratio 1 divided by that answer, you will get 8 hertz. Okay, so that is the Fe3. Okay, the same capacitor we have used and you are getting the different frequency values. See the change. Okay, 0.016, then 8 hertz, and then 318 hertz. So now your graph is satisfied. So whatever I have explained you the graph, okay, first increase, then increase, next increase, like that, right? So it was very lowest value, that is Fe1 value. How much you got? 0.016. Then Fe3 value, okay, which is 8 hertz. After that FL will come, which is 318, right? So FL is equal to Fe2 318.3. so this is the dominant one. Okay, compared to this, these two, to show you practically with the calculation, this example was taken. Okay, so FL is equal to Fe2, why we have to consider? Okay, because of this dominant factor there, GM and CS. Okay, so this is about the problems on frequency response. So with this we are completing the section frequency response of the common source amplifier. We started off with giving you the 3 frequency bands: mid band, low frequency band, and high frequency band. Low frequency band is due to the internal coupling capacitor CC1, CC2 and bypass capacitance, and the high frequency curve is due to the internal capacitances of the MOSFET. So there are various capacitance are there, and finally the dominant two are gate to source and gate to drain, that is CGS and CGD. Okay, so all these things we have explained. We have derived the formula for FH as well as FL, and we have seen the problems also there and here also. Okay, so with this we have completed the MOSFET amplifier part. So we started off with section A, common source amplifier we have considered, common drain amplifiers, and then section 2 we have considered MOSFET internal capacitance and high frequency model we have considered, and third part we have considered the frequency response. Okay, so with this the half part of the module 2 is completed, which is based on MOSFET. Okay, so next